High track D8. Another D8, which this looks like a stump splitter in the back. And I've been wrong before, so don't quote me on this, but when I look at this, that is what comes to mind is you have this giant wedge. You put this thing in reverse and you back into a stump and it splits in half. And you can turn around, take your blade and dig it out. I don't know if I'm wrong on that, tell me in the comments. As the battery switches on. Take it for a ride. I have no clue if this will start. Look at that. Fire's right up. Control right here is for your blade. You pull back, lifts the blade up. You tilt to the side, pulls that hydraulic cylinder in. Now tilt your blade. You go to your left side, does the same thing. Push that hydraulic cylinder out, drops that blade down. Taking me a little bit to get used to here, so this is a twist grip. So I'm going forward, I want to go backwards, I twist it, I goes to neutral, see the end there, I twist it again, it pops into reverse, and now I'm putting first gear right now. And I want to steer it. So you steer, well, there you go. Guess I'm going forward. I push it that way, I go that way. I want to go the other way. One thing that takes a lot of getting used to if you've never run a dozer before, my foot's sitting on what's called the de-accelerator. So for me, best way to think about it is I'm in high RPM all the time by this throttle. So this throttle is at low RPM right now. It's at idle. When I pull this up, RPM's going up. You can hear it going up. When I press on that lever right there, it takes your RPM back down to an idle. So because you're going to be going in long distances all day and you don't want to have your foot on the accelerator, you just want to set it and forget it, you set the RPM that you want. So if you're happy with that RPM, you press your foot down on this, brings your RPM down, you pull it into the gear that you want, put it in the forward position, you let off of it, and it starts walking forward. And then all you have to do is just focus on steering it. Less operator fatigue that way. And to kill it, just push it all the way forward, and that kills it. I bet the audio on this video is going to be horrible because I can hear it echoing in this cab. But that lever down there, that's your interlock, so you have to pull that lever up to be able to get the controls here to work, to be able to move it forward and backwards. The hydraulics are always live on it. So like right there, just lowering this down, putting it back the way we found it. I don't know what year this is, but the newer cats, they won't do that. You have to have the machine running to lower the implements. Yeah, big old machine. You can do some work with it. Got the newer 700Ks there. And going back down the line, the older they get. These Komatsus always have the tiniest front nose and hood. Holes to right. Alright, that's good to know. And a D8K. Undercarriage looks in pretty good condition. Tracks are a little loose. Another D8K. And another one. I wonder if these are all from the same company. D8H. This is definitely an older style. Those tracks could use some tensioning. That seat's seen better days. There's the D7. So the way they tension these tracks on these old ones, you can look down underneath this panel here and you can see that big coil spring. like what you have on the front of your truck, and that's what's pushing the two idler wheels, or the idler wheel out from the sprocket, and that's what tensions your tracks. I do not know if it's the same on this one. No, that's a hydraulic cylinder, it looks like right there. So I must say, I believe that that's hydraulically more modern design, I should say. I don't know about this one now. I'm not an expert in any of this stuff, so I never claim to be. Oh yeah, there's your hydraulic cylinder right there. So yeah, these are all hydraulically tension tracks. I think that's it for the dozer section. We got a ton of wheel loaders. And the skid steers over here. Looks like some newer versions. You really get the gamut at these auctions. And some of these machines I've hopped in today are essentially brand new. And I don't know the reasoning for that. I don't know why something that's a year or two old to be at an auction. I think you could sell it for a lot more private party or at the dealership. Like this. This thing looks in pretty good condition. I mean, it's been used, but that's not bad. Nice and clean, all taken care of, but who knows? I don't know what the reason for why they put newer equipment at these auctions. Company went out of business, or $299 D3 land management package. So I'm assuming this is designed for doing putting a forestry mulcher on. You got the guards there around your hydraulics to kind of keep the debris from getting in there. Got that top roof right there that slides back. That'll keep all the limbs and stuff from falling on the top of your engine compartment here, because your radiator's right up top. You can see the fan right there, and that's the radiator under that grill. And that on the very top of the cab is your hydraulic accessory cooler, or it's an additional hydraulic cooler. So when you're running like a forestry mulcher, they use a lot of hydraulic power, and that hydraulic power builds up a lot of heat, and you need to get rid of that somehow. So you have this radiator up top, and that helps cool it down. HEA, I do not know what that, never heard of that company. As you can see, the door is lacking a little bit, I'll just say. So I'll just put that back how we found it. You can see the handle right there where they unbolted it. Yeah, skid steers with the forestry heads are starting to become more and more popular. There's a little bit more of a demand for it for wildland firefighting prevention. You know, cleaning up around buildings before you have a wildland fire come through, mitigate some of the risk. A lot of places require it because you can't just take your slash piles and burn them anymore, so they have to mulch them up. Got a skid steer section, now we're into the roller section. Some old graters. Got one new one. And then the scrap metal special right here. I doubt anyone's gonna be buying this thing other than for scrap metal. It looks pretty worse for wear. Your guess is as good as mine on what age this is. There's not a whole lot in the line of mini excavators either. Normally they have a bunch from like rental companies here. They just have the typical brand new ones from China and some of the gray market machines here too. Old rental units. I used to work for a rental company, and it is downright astounding how much damage people can do to equipment that's not theirs. Just they're renting it for 4 hours and they have 8 hours worth of work they want to get done, so they're going to beat the crap out of it. Now, I don't know why, but this just feels like a gray market machine to me. Maybe because the size of the treads here, I don't know why, but normally you can get in these and all the warning labels on the side there will be in Chinese, because Cat doesn't just build these over for the North American market, they build them for all over the world. And they have plants obviously everywhere, and so when you hear the term gray market machine, that is a machine that was, say, we'll just assume, we'll pick on this 306 here. We're going to assume that this was designed for use over in Asia. But, so it was built over there, built by Cat. It's a Cat machine, but it's built a little bit differently. They have different EPA regulations, different safety regulations, and there might be specifications that the companies over there need. So they're built a little bit different. They somehow get shipped over here to these auctions in the US, and people come along, they look at it, they say, hey, that's a good machine, looks solid, good price, because not as many people are bidding on it. And they take it home and they put it to work, and they find out that they need some parts for it. And then they come to find out you can't get the parts very easily for these. And you can get them. I mean, you pay enough money, you can get anything in the world. But that's maybe what you're doing, is you're having something shipped that you found on like Alibaba.com or eBay, or you may have to do some real hunting to find the part for the motor, because the motor is not a standard US motor. So, and this is just what's making me think that this is a gray market machine. Normally, smaller machines like this are rubber tracked, and they don't normally paint over the handle. So this thing's been repainted at some point in its life. There's no spring assist with that. So I can't say for sure, but that's just what's leading me to believe it. It's been painted, and Caterpillar ink. It's made in China? Ah, okay. Alright. A lot of these auction houses aren't supposed to be taking the gray market machines because there's some liability on them, and you're essentially selling a product that does not meet EPA emission standards. So, but I keep seeing them show up. I just don't know how people get through. Matsu here, PC70. So stickers like that indicates to me that this thing was not originally manufactured for North American market. But now, that's not a guarantee, but that's just my assumption, and the fact that it's been repainted. So, like with anything at every auction, buyer beware. Nothing or everything here is sold as is, no warranty implied. But yeah, not a big selection right now of the U.S. market stuff. This Deer 50G, probably some contractor selling it off. This little Kubota, the yellow and teal, probably straight from China, or Asia I should say. Maybe I'm profiling, but when it's all spec plate is in Chinese, it's a good indication it came from another country. And in all reality, they're all going to do the same thing. They all dig a hole. They're all going to work. The issue comes down to is, are you going to be able to find parts for it? And it limits the jobs that you're able to bid on if you're a company, because some companies, in the bid descriptive, the bids are going to say, you know, hey, all your equipment has to meet EPA regulations, especially if you're working in bigger cities. Yeah, these old CFGs. I've dogged on this model a couple times, and by dogged on I just mean I'm critical of the fit and finish of it, but it's a decent machine. I'll dig a hole. Just for a brand new machine, if they just do a little bit more fit and finish, it'd be nice. Like not being able to see in the cab through that hole right there. You know, little things like that. And if you're going to be buying a machine, anything, you know, bigger size up, might just be money ahead to buy something like this. At least get air conditioning with it. Yeah, it's made in China, but, you know, get a few more creature comforts. Here's an oddity you don't see too much here in the Pacific Northwest, is these underground mining trucks. So, as far as I know, underground mining is not a thing here. I'm sure there might be one or two that exist, but it's not an industry that at least I know about, which isn't saying very much. I think the total height of this thing is everything under 10 feet. Not a ton of ground clearance. I mean, this doesn't even come up past my knee. That's got quite the stick out too. Probably all of 9 feet from the center of that axle, the front here. I tried starting, it's dead. Like so many of the machines here, the batteries are toast. Tires are taller than I am. Cool machine. Parked right next to a Terex, actual off-road truck. The heavy steel door there. And there's your cab. You got the trainer seat right there, so the grumpy old timer can sit behind you and yell at you and tell you everything you're doing wrong when he's training you. There's the view. Not much for creature comforts. There's your motor. And out back. It's an AD45B. Never been around underground mining, and I can't say it's something that I'd be super enthusiastic about. Having to worry about stuff dropping on your head. Big old tire chalk. Motor access. And there's the back of the bed. You got Terex right next to it for size. And the Terex is obviously taller, but size-wise, I think they're about the same width. Yeah, cool machine. Can't say I see too many around. Here's another machine you don't see every day. It's a milling machine for taking out asphalt. This is a 3-track system. And there's your drum. Bunch of carbide teeth right there. It drops down, starts grinding up the road. Shoots it into this first conveyor belt, so it goes up. Dumps it into the secondary conveyor belt, so that then shoots it into your dump truck. There's your 2 front set of tracks here. And all of these hydraulic cylinders that the tracks ride on are independently controlled, so you can level out the machine. So, a big old machine. Air leak. You got some controls down here, so you want to adjust the height down here. I don't think people will be standing here when that thing's operating, because that thing's probably throwing chips all over the place. And here's a view from up top. least hear me talk. So you have controls on both sides. So if I press this down, lower down a conveyor belt, spin it back around. I wasn't able to figure out how to make it go forward, but it's probably for the better. I've never been trained on one of these, so I don't want to do any damage to it, but all pretty self-explanatory control setup on these. I think that's a smaller one right there. Yeah, I've never seen one of these up close. Didn't realize how big these things are. Mechanical shear. Old Rockwell is 14-inch unisaw. I don't know if these are ever true unisaws or if they're just their industrial model 14-inch. A little bit bigger than a unisaw. Iron worker. It's a Buffalo, but iron worker is actually a trade name for a machine name, but same thing. You can punch, cut, notch. Should be fun to have one of these, but I did not have the room in my shop. Comes with all the dies, it looks like.